Hello everyone and welcome to my first record update of this year. Let's start with the bundle of records that I bought through a local version of eBay. I was actually first going to buy only one single, but I noticed that the seller had included a note saying that he has a minimum price of which he sells singles, and my single didn't go that high. So I checked the other stuff that he was selling and I found one album, so I thought that okay, I'm going to buy that one. So that should do it. But then there was a note saying that if you buy albums you have to go over such price, and mine didn't go. So at first I was just going to abandon the whole thing, but I went back and searched for more and I found more stuff. So let's go with those. First one is Matchbox, Set in the Moods of Fire, a really good late 70s rockabilly. I've always known this album ever since the early 80s, but I've never owned it until my brother gave it to me on a cassette a couple of years ago. But now that the labels fell off from that tape, I decided to upgrade on vinyl. And the second album is a testimony to how a pay I can be sometimes. This is Danny Joe Brown and the Danny Joe Brown Band. Danny Joe Brown was the former lead vocalist of Molly Hatchet. Now, to me this seems like kind of egotistic thing to have your name twice on a title, Danny Joe Brown and a Danny Joe Brown Band. Like, come on, give us some rest. Yeah, unlike Molly Hatchet, which has a really strong hard rock influences, this is just pure southern rock, really good stuff. The next artist I've known since the early 90s when I started listening to Emmylou Harris. He has written several songs for Emmylou and even made two duet albums with her. But I wanted a solo album from Rodney Crowell. This is Street Language from 1986. The country influences here are really thin on the crowd. To me this is just like a B-class rock band. Yeah, big disappointment. But the next one was Grapevine. I've always known about this album, but I have never seen this album. I've never even seen a photo of this album. This is a debut album from Paladins. On their later albums they would morph into sort of a mixture of blues rock and rockabilly, but on this debut album they are pretty much pure rockabilly, although the guitarist Dave Gonzalez here already is showing signs of what would become, because he really likes to play a guitar a lot. He's like Stevie Ray Vaughan, that he really likes to play a guitar a lot. But yeah, I do prefer the later albums like Let's Buzz, where the blues influences are more obvious, but yeah, that's a good one too. The next one was also kind of a disappointment. This is Hot House Flowers, People. I was expecting this to be sort of mixture of traditional Irish feel and rock feel. When you look at the instruments, there's small accordion, there's mandolin, acoustic guitar, saxophone. But yeah, to me this was just a rock band. I didn't really find the Irish influences here. So yeah, when I was getting ready to pay for those, I noticed that the seller had included a note saying that if you buy over such price you will get 5 albums for free, and if you buy over such price you will get 10 albums for free, and mine went over the 10 albums mark. But at the same time I knew that the albums would be garbage, they would be stuff that nobody would pay anything for anyway. And 7 of those albums were just that kind of stuff. They were just garbage that I threw straight into trash, didn't give them any listen. But these 3 looked interesting enough that I would listen to at least one song from each. First one is Toby Bow, and I decided to listen this one simply because the sleeve looked like it could be country rock, and it is. Despite the name, this is a band. The interesting thing about this album to me turned out to be the producer, which is Sean Delaney, who worked a lot with Kiss during the 70s. Yeah, decent enough country rock. A couple of the songs are really strongly influenced by Eagles. Yeah, like I said, decent enough, but nothing great. Not going to hold on to that one. The second one I kept simply because I recognized the sleeve that I had seen it some time before. This is Jenny Morris, Shiver, and I noticed that this was produced by Andrew Faris, who was a member of INXS. So I decided to find out a little bit more about her, and it turned out that she used to be a backing vocalist for INXS. So that's where the connection comes from. Musically, this was a positive surprise to me. I thought it was a rather good sort of pop rock, pop aimed at the adult audience rather than teenage audience. Yeah, she's a singer-songwriter from New Zealand, but not going to hold on to that one either. And this third one I knew already as a name and also have one song on a compilation. This is Bell Stars, girl group from early 80s, from 1983. This is really good upbeat pop rock with some Caribbean influences. Yeah, I thought that this was a good one, but again, not going to hold on to that one either. So anybody out there interested, let me know and I maybe may mail them to you. This next one was, I don't remember who it was, maybe it was Hannah who bought Dear 23 by Posies, and I was like, yeah, I want that one. And I went searching for it and I found it, but it cost something like 49 euros. I wasn't going to pay that much. But I did find this one. This is Amazing Disgrace. Always love the title, and the photo here goes so well with the title. This is a double CD. So the first CD includes the full album and some bonus tracks, which are demos, full band demos, not recorded by the full band. They are either recorded by John or Ken, but they have recorded all the instruments. So I really like those, but the second CD was a disappointment. Those are, nearly all of them are demos with just an electric guitar. And when it's just an electric guitar, I really can't grasp the song. It just sounds like strumming. When it's a acoustic guitar, I can hear the song, but not on this one. So the second CD was a disappointment to me. This next one was completely unknown to me. I had never heard of her. I was actually just checking an artist for the upcoming blues festival here, and there was a link to this small article saying that she had been nominated or had won some upcoming blues artist of the year or something like that. So I decided to check her out and really liked. This is Susan Santos, Skin and Bones. Don't really know much of anything about her. Simply based on her name, Susan Santos, I'm guessing that she is British, because I don't hear any Spanish accent on her singing. It's pure English. So she may be a British who is married to a Spanish guy, because her page simply says that she moved to Madrid, but doesn't say anything about where from. So she may be Spanish, she may be a British living in Spain, I don't know. But really good blues rock. She plays electric guitar, she plays acoustic guitar, she plays slide. She writes all of her own songs. Really good, nothing groundbreaking here, just really good blues rock. Okay, let's check this next one. When I noticed that this was released, I wasn't interested in it at all. I thought that this was simply a reissue of their second album with the original title and original sleeve. This is Big Brother and Holy Company. Yeah, luckily I happened to, there was an article about this album on a local newspaper, and I read it, and I found out that this was actually double album of unreleased studio material. And there's hardly been anything, any unreleased studio material from Janis, hold on, since this box set in 1993. This included several unreleased songs, but after that there's been hardly anything, any unreleased studio material, so finding this one was really, really good find. Okay, the next one, I'll show you my original copy. This is Faces, I know it's as good as a wink to a blind horse. If you can tell, there's tears, there's spine, not in great condition, the sleeve. Album itself plays fine. But anyway, I love Faces, I love all the Rod Stewart solo albums from this period. But when I found out that there's going to be a reissue, I couldn't jump to it fast enough because, yeah, especially when he said that it comes with a poster. But when you look at this, see how the Faces is written, and then see difference, and also see the note, how the album title is A Nod's as Good as a Wink, and here it's A Nod is as Good as a Wink. So they even changed the title, or rather the way that it is written. That is a detail that I really don't like. You can't go changing the title of the album. But the disappointment turned out to be the poster. Like, I'm not the kind of person who gets offended easily. Like, for example, the sleeve of the Blind Faith album, I have no problem with that whatsoever. This one is like a bunch of random photos. Like, there's no logical idea behind these photos. It's just random photos. A couple of these photos are here. I mean, they may have been funny at the time, but I really don't find them funny these days. A couple of those photos are just, yeah, they are just offending to me. So I have a fantastic album in a fantastic condition, but yeah, these couple of details, the title change and the poster, didn't like those. Okay, it was maybe a year ago. I made videos about my top 25 albums. On one of those, some Brazilian guy had watched my video, and he replied to it and said that he recommends me 3 Brazilian albums, if for nothing else than simply them being different. And I actually knew one of those albums, didn't like it, so I checked the second album, didn't like it, but the third one turned out to be really good. This is Novos Baianos, Agapu Corare. Hold on, which way is it? 9. Yeah, this is mostly acoustic stuff, but there's also electric guitar playing solos and some guitar fills. Yeah, with full Brazilian rhythms, really good. I really recommend you to go to YouTube and have a listen to these songs. So thanks to that Brazilian guy, whoever it was. Okay, and then after a long time, I finally managed to take some of my albums to the second-hand store and sell them. I actually sold 23 albums, and I got a massive amount of 80 euros for them. So if you do the math, you will realize that I got just over 3 euros each for those albums. So you may be thinking that, was I disappointed for getting so little? No, I wasn't. My philosophy towards it has always been that if I am ready to sell something, those albums don't have any value to me anyway. So I'm just glad to be getting rid of them, whatever I get from them. What did I buy with that 80 euros? I bought Pink Floyd Pulse. This actually cost 120 euros, so I ended up paying 40 euros for this one. Yeah. Okay, that's it for this time. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Bye.